opening phase is still pretty strong from SM because they have the creeps to be annoying, and Bane is just, he's got ridiculously good stats and good movement speed and good armor. So another Venge core, it looks like, coming in from SM.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked about the strength of the laning stage, even accentuated now by that. So if they, you know, Bane, Vengeful Spirit together, Bane nightmares somebody, just punches him a few times while Venge walks up for the stun. Remaining. Could be a bit of a tough one. I guess Sand King is better able than most to be able to deal with that. We'll have to watch if they bring out any sentry wards at all for him. But nonetheless, last picks. Anything glaring missing in either of these drafts?
Navi is going to ban Death Prophet. Okay. No, actually. I mean, I don't know if they will.
Oh, it's already banned.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, third ban. Good eye, good eye. You know what? So I've been up for a little while. It takes me a minute to spot the bans sometimes.
That's all good. I got you. We're there. We're doing it.
Okay, so they need their mid, and they're picking into most likely a Mirana mid.
Quap?
I mean, you really don't want to blink into that team. Like, you really don't. That's a Doom and multiple stuns.
Yeah.
They don't really have catch again, though, so maybe he plays like a puck or something? I'm not sure. They obviously can push. Like, no matter what they pick, they're going to be able to push because they have the Venge and the Shen. So they'll be able to get towers, like, regardless. The problem with being, like, if you're, like, puck is going high ground is going to be tough, but, you know, I said that last game and they smushed Navi, so...
what about, like, a
something
DOTA?
with catch or something... Yeah, I don't hate DOTA. There's a couple of ways you can go about it. You can go for the 5-man. You can pick like your DOTA, like you said. You can go from more catch oriented and have a balanced lineup. Like what I was thinking is just being able to start fights with, and you know they actually do have a lot of different ways they can go about this.
Yeah, very versatile draft, and it's gonna kind of come up to what they feel they need to do. If history is any indication, it's gonna be like the 5-man. Just based off of how they like to play previously. But maybe since they lost that game, that's not what they want to go to.
I would almost say DK, but DK is not great against Doom.
Oh, wow.
The mid-Visage, let's go.
So is this an all-in right now? Because whenever I see Visage, I feel like you need to end the game early if it's a core. Am I wrong in that?
Not necessarily, but in a case like this where you're gonna get the counter pick and the last pick, most likely it will end up being that way. Yeah.
Okay.
But don't get me wrong, Visage core is real strong.
Yeah.
It's Captain Peebles. Let's go.
So you telling me you like this pick? This is you're feeling it.
Again, no catch.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as last game. Like, SM really does not like picking heavy initiators, it seems. They really favor the kind of, we're going to have high damage, just generally strong lanes and just try to win that way and just, you know, carry ourselves on good map movement during the mid game. And it's worked. You know, it's worked in the second game. Okay. So I'm feeling the same way where I think that if the game goes long enough, Navi will just win by virtue of their heroes.
Right.
But, you know, SM has the opportunity to, if that Visage gets rolling, that hero is nasty.
And you've got all of these other heroes that help make it stronger too. I'm thinking about, like, you know, the ABBA passive as well with all those birds. Just dirty stuff could come out from them. And they've got some of the lane strong heroes that maybe can make it happen. To me, at least, it feels like a lot of this rides on the back of the Chen and what he's able to get done. Are there any other standout heroes to you?
Prepare for battle.
I think Navi is pretty straightforward with what they want to do. They kind of just want to farm. And Crystallize, I guess, is going to be playing the Mirana, so stay playing Mirana. Who else needs to make plays? I mean, it really is kind of just the Chen. I mean, the Doom's going to have to be going to the same place that he sees the Chen, he wants to mirror his movements, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to see if they can get down some good wards to get into Vision for it. Lil is going to take the Infernal Blade first overall. Obviously, you don't want to try and go for, like, taking the creeps right at the start since they're not even going to be there. I don't know if these people are scouted. It does look like Radiant caught a quick sight of the rest of Navi, so they might check this area for the Observer ward. But really, it's just going to be a heavy committal for this bounty rune.
30 seconds to battle.
I like this little wraparound maneuver here from Navi. This is cute.
Did they secure both with this? I don't know if they know about slozhniy here.
They're gonna send a hero over to see in a second. Crystallized got level 1 arrow. The other thing you can do is you can actually shoot. You can shoot an arrow just at the bounty rune and scout it out. But yeah, Lil's gonna spot him.
The battle
Give him the punch, arrow coming out, aphotic shield, and they back out.
So it's a 2-2. Normal stuff. No one really gets an edge one way or the other. Anything else interesting?
Yeah,
General's
deep.
They're both going for the lane pull. They don't like. Obviously, he doesn't want to. Oh, he missed the wave. That's even worse. Okay,
that's not great. Oh God, and he got arrowed. Oh no! Oh, Abba! They give the kill over to Crystallize.
First blood.
That's what you call an overlaning phase right there.
Oh, no.
I mean, I guess actually it isn't because he has Chen.
Right.
But if he didn't have Chen, that was the end of his early game right there because he missed the wave. Even if you die, like for offlaners, as long as you mess up the creep wave a little bit and you get like the double wave, it's fine because you'll eventually get EXP. Right. But if you miss the wave and you die, it's like, oh Jesus, get me out of this game.
And then he also TP'd, so he's gonna have to walk back to lane. So Yume does get a lot of that experience there. He's almost at level 2, but Abba still sitting at nothing. And they're going to need to figure out an answer. It's actually going to be the Venge playing in the mid lane. They're going to sit a Visage down bottom to try and contend with General, who has gone for Sandstorm level 1, because guess what? No Sentry Wards.
Yeah, they've done this twice in a row. They pick a hero that they think is good for the game, which was the Visage, but he's not necessarily going to have a good laning phase because he didn't have the last pick. So they give the lane to the hero that they think is better for the game, and they've done that twice now. So they did it with the DP when they swapped the Terrorblade to go mid because they figured the DP might be a bit more instrumental in their victory, and the hero needs like a bit of an easier lane than the Terrorblade because he's got so much base armor. And in this game, they put the Visage bottom because Visage just gets torn up by Sniper in mid because you don't have any armor, and you just get hit by peeps, and then you just want to die, basically.
Right. Well, and you also have the situation now where because the Sand King took Sandstorm level 1, he's not really going to be able to like contest a ton and do a ton of damage. And you have Visage sitting at 7 and 5 with a bunch of denies, which is a nice little win for him in that way. Although looks like General now is going to try and contest the lane a little bit more heavily.
The big thing about this though is that General will not die in this lane. It's like impossible to die. So you get the EXP that you want. He's probably going to have a well-timed Blink Dagger because they see that the support is showing mid. Like the Venge is, or the Bane is here with the Venge. And then top lane, they know that Chen's going to be the one roaming around trying to give this Abba some kind of an easy time. So this is like a very old school way of playing. It's like the 2-2-1. So in this matchup, the offlaner gets a ton.
Yeah, and now you have a rotation in as well. The Chen just got his creep arrowed. And now with LeBron moving in as well, they're going to be able to do a lot of damage. And in fact, throw the Maledict on a slozhniy, obviously undispellable. And miscoil the send back, and he'll be able to come back shortly.
If this guy didn't have a Chen, this game would be so hard for him.
Yeah. It's a good hero.
It is. It's really... I love having it on my team because I don't have to play, you know, freaking whack-a-mole with creep waves to have a game.
Right.
I can just have my Chen give me the EXP.
Maybe I should start spamming Chen in my pubs.
Just be ready to get flamed a lot if you don't play Chen.
Okay. I'm with you. That's fair. You may, again, hitting some damage here onto Lil. It's a lot of damage. The Pendants comes afterwards, actually, and miscoil almost enough. They take down Lil.
Only the penitent can be forgiven.
I can't believe they actually got him there. I guess it's because, yeah, he went for the 1-0-1 build again, so he doesn't have Scorched Earth. They're going to find a kill in mid, though, on the Bane.
Got peeped.
But yeah, this is a really hard matchup for them, this mid lane.
They're gonna
I mean, I guess the Venge is still decent CS.
Oh, if they kill off all these creeps here, the stun, the damage, Dendi in trouble and dead.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, he definitely stayed way too long, but especially considering the fact that he knew his support wasn't there. So maybe he just wasn't expecting an immediate TP back to the lane bottom too. TP attempt.
Oh,
no way.
go down. That was a long TP, it felt like.
He was just getting chunked because Infernal Blade and the Thunderclap as well. Thunderclap is 150 damage for 50 mana. That is insane.
God. Yeah, that's nuts. And then you combo that with Infernal Blade. Oh, jeez. Very hard to deal with. Not to mention for a hero that has very little magic resistance once you've hit him a couple times. So, tough stuff to keep our eyes on. I guess that's the other thing that we'll need to sort of think about in this game is how it all ends up working out. Doom gonna eat a creep again. And Lil starting to take some damage. He is falling rather rapidly. They got body blocks as well. A brain sap for the kill.
I just like the idea that he picks the hero specifically to run around and just eat the Chen's creeps. He's done it, what, like 3 times now?
Yeah.
Because every single time he's like, oh, hey, you have a creep? It would be a shame if I were to literally just instantly kill it.
Hey, man. That's what you gotta do. You make the opponent sad. You tilt them into winning.
Yeah, it's not about actually winning the game. It's just making the Chen picker want to not play the game anymore.
It's really a public service, if you think about it. Bane spots out Lil. Magic Missile, minus armor, down to -2 actually. These Bane right clicks are gonna hurt. Now they've got the Penitence to follow. Lil dead and gone. Now can they find any other type of turnaround? They're actually pulling in the creeps a little bit closer. You may start to follow. He is gonna die. But they take down the Witch Doctor in turn, and now General trying to run away. They're gonna have a Thunderclap back up again in 5 seconds. He has a Burrow Strike if he wants to get out of here, but nice little Sandstorm to make his escape.
What's your counterplay to just going invisible? I guess apparently there isn't one.
Oh, there it is. I got the Sentry Ward down and, well, baited out 100 gold.
Dude, this Bane he's getting fat, dude. He's got 4 kills now. He's almost got Arcane Boots at 6 minutes. This is the dream Bane game.
Bane, not usually. No.
Courier? What?
Dire's top
Jesus.
Oh god, and now Visage left alone. Yep, that's a problem. Sashlo ends up going down too, over to the side to crystallize. Things starting to fall apart a little bit there, but the pressure is still coming bottom. Although General, I mean, he's just having a good old time for himself. Do they have another Sentry Ward? They don't have anything.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He has Epi, but he's paying it out. He wants someone to TP so he can fight this. He's got 3 Burrow and Epi.
Just outside of range. He's going to pull the creep wave back now, and now, he's going to be so upset about that Burrow Strike. Maybe a turn around here. They take down the Bane. Can this work out? Yume is going to fall as well. I thought that nobody was going to show up to that one, but they listen to their offlaner, and they get rewarded.
Wow, that was really good because he persuaded one of the carts, so they had a double cart wave. That tower was dead 100% if no one TP. Yeah. And there was not really any reason to let it go. Like, no other lane was being directly pressured. Top is actually pushing in their favor. They did have to make Dendi lead his lane, though, so mid is getting poked a bit, but they stay in the tower, get some kills. Nice move there.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, the rest of the Radiant pushing out the other lanes now, and maybe we can see SM start to get things a little bit better into their favor since the Chen birds are out. Lil does have an Invis rune, though, only level 3, but this might be the death of the Visage if he steps too far forward.
By the way, did you say Chen birds?
Yes, I did. Don't worry about it.
I wasn't sure. It's, you know, we're on that tired thing now. We start to like hear things, but
of course. Oh god, what am I doing?
Oh, this is a very dead Venge. Stun into okay, nice. He got the burrow into the arrow. That was a tough one. Can't really get away from that.
They lost one of the Chen birds. See, I did it that time for realsies. But it's going to be an arrow now onto Abba, and he is dead again. Lordy, Draskell, Navi is not taking any prisoners here in this one.
Well, the big difference in this game is that they put General on a hero that actually moves around the map and does stuff. And, you know, when Navi play the game, I often like to see them have General get that type of hero.
Right.
And they're just running that mid right now.
A 2-person stun, but they still are able to take down, and, well, Bane living for the moment. Maledict is still going to do too much to him, though. And General, in the meantime, he's somehow still able to lift this. They turn it around onto the bench. Oh, God.
Radiant's top tower
Well played
is under
indeed.
attack.
They are owning.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I expected on Navi is, you know, you give General the hero that can make plays happen. You give Crystallize a self-sufficient laner, and then you just go to town. And that's why, like, he enjoys those heroes like Void that typically just have a really good laning phase.
Yeah.
Like, when this guy plays pubs, he plays Void like every other freaking game. It's insane. And he's real good at it. So I like the fact that they've changed their priorities around. You know, they give General the off lane, they don't sack their core player. And you can see, like, the results speak for themselves.
They got Epi here on Sand King, and they've got themselves the dead Visage, I believe, as he is gonna fall. They burn through all those stacks of Gravekeeper's Cloak, and that's about Blink Dagger on General at 9.5 minutes.
So yeah, the biggest weakness of the 2-2-1, kind of the style that SM has shown every single game, is that one lane is always going to get farm that normally would not get farm, which in this case is the Sand King.
Right.
So because he gets that farm and you have this moving piece in the Chen, if he doesn't do anything and the Sand King gets farm, the Sand King starts making all these plays across the map, and Chen is not a really fast hero. You know, he needs those creeps, and he needs the ability to set up before he makes something happen, but the movement from Navi is just too quick. Like, he can't keep up with what's going on right now.
Burrow strike onto Bane, and he doesn't have really anywhere left to go. He's going to try and live with the Brain Sap, but I don't think it was there. Oh, Fiend's Grip. Maybe a turnaround here. They do take down the Mirana, and Bane, somehow living through all of that, does finally fall. And now the Epicenter onto the Vengeful Spirit. The turnaround, he does have a stun to follow this, and they're actually able to make something of this. Navi's starting to fall here, General. Goes Sandstorm, runs away. Unfortunate. They might have been able to find the kill there if they kept chasing.
I don't know. It would have been a really long chase, and there's no guarantee. You know, maybe General gets foggy. He's got max Sandstorm. He's opted out of Caustic like entirely.
Yeah.
So it's a very short cooldown, only 10 seconds.
And he just keeps on going in with this thing. No fear at all, and even though he's so freaking low HP. But a rotation coming in now from Navi. Also should mention that they've got about 600 gold from those Visage birds, which are, I believe, back up again now. If they take this fight, it could end up turning south. It depends on if Visage can live through it. So Visage starting to fall. They have the Maledict onto him. The 3% stun, though. Now the swap back in. They've got themselves the Sniper. He should fall, but can they find any more afterwards? Did he actually living through this? They don't have enough damage, and the Moonlight Shadow keeps them alive. Now the Doom is out onto... Who'd they Doom? Well, regardless, Chen is dead. And it was the Doom onto the Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah,
It was starting to fall.
Yeah.
3 dead. They lose Dendi, but they take down a lot in turn. These Visage birds are starting to actually get enough. They get the Witch Doctor as well. But Navi winning another fight and pressuring the tower at least a little bit.
Dire's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
that was. I mean, they get a couple of kills out of it, but they don't lose a tier 1. So maybe not like the best trade in the world for Navi, but they're still kind of feeling themselves. They got a pretty good lead at the moment. And they got a, oh wow, that range. Okay.
They caught him.
Okay.
Stomp, follow it up. Brain Sap. Ooh.
Deep, all right.
Well, after...
I mean, that's a big kill still. I mean, you're taking out Crystallized, and now you get the tier 1. They're going to force the Glyph here. Oh, Epi is up, though, and they just wasted their vision spell.
Oh, scary stuff. Burrow strike through. They decide to focus the Visage, who gets Nightmare and Aphotic shielded, and he is still living here. They are turning it now. General going to start to take some damage, but Sniper's shown up. Oh my god, the damage. It's going to be so significant, and that's going to be a dead Vengeful Spirit. They take down the Abba as well. They keep their Visage alive, but they lost a lot.
You know, to be completely honest, I think most of the damage came from the Death Ward there.
Yeah.
Dendi doesn't really have any items yet. He's just got the casual Ring of Health and the Force Staff recipe. So I think he's just going straight for the Pike, which is fine. Or maybe he goes Force into Maelstrom. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, this game is still looking a little bit rough for SM. I'm just wondering what like the Visage's comeback is, because you know picking it into Witch Doctor is a bit brave just because of how good cast can be. If you get caught with your birds on top of you, you just get stun locked. We saw it happen once earlier. And And like this is the type of team where you kind of want to be playing from ahead.
Yeah.
And I don't really see that happening. And they also, as they've shown in pretty much every single one of their games, even when they were picking Death Prophet, they really do not care about having wave clear.
Yeah.
They just don't. So they're going to be playing against General and side lanes. You're going to have a Mirana in the side lanes all the time. Those heroes are both hard to kill. You need heavy commitment to be able to take them out. It's an uphill battle for the Radiant team.
And more uphill here. Bane going to be found. The arrow connects. Wow. Hand of God there as well, but it is not going to keep him alive, I do not believe, as the chase. Well, with Visage, actually. Maybe they can make this happen. Keep him alive. And now the rest of the heroes are here as well. They're going to try and push this. Although they're pushing into Epicenter again with Sand King. They're going to look to try and scout him out here, and they do find General. This is a big pickup. Swap back, but the burrow away. Not sure if that swap was necessary, and in fact, the rest of the heroes coming in, they managed to take him down.
That's one of the harder heroes for them to kill too. That's a nice one. They might even be able to go for another tower. General still got 20 seconds left. This is the full force. They got the Chen birds and everything. Get in there. They got an alpha wolf too.
Not to mention Helm of the Dominator on the Abba. You've got all of the 5-manning items that, well, are most critical. Probably a couple others are going to be coming out soon. It's going to be a pipe, or rather a hood done for the Visage, while they trade out for the mid-tier 1.
Yeah, well, a tier 2 and a tier 1 for just a tier 1 and a Sand King kill. So a nice little comeback play there from SM. They still got their work cut out for them though. Like this is the kind of game where you can literally never be happy until you like just crushed it. He's gonna go for a grip.
Lola's moving in as well. They're trying to get this stunned before they're able to break it. Crystallize does manage to get away, but they lose the Doom. Ward's down, getting vision. This one was scouted, I believe. Maybe not, actually. LeBron placed it from the fog. Swap away. They got General again. They've caught this guy. Although, can they do anything else? The Visage Birds do not decide to drop onto him. Is on cooldown still. But they are going to be able to slowly take down these towers. Drums popped. Tower gone. Epicenter. The shockwave! It broke his blink! Oh! Epi down. Do they know about that, though? Did they see it? I think they did.
I think they know. They're pinging Roche like they want to do it. So they definitely saw it, because if you know he has Epi, you do not walk into that pit.
Yeah. Well, it's a 4,000 gold lead.
Though.
That's what's crazy to me about this. 4,000 gold lead. You look at the net worth; it's all inhabited by the Dire, but Radiant are making moves.
To my house.
Yeah, they really want to try to go for this Roche, but it's still kind of hard because of the shrapnel vision and the fact that one just good cast can really ruin a Roshan fight for you.
Yeah.
Look at Lil, man. He's even got the Midas. What a guy.
He's about to show down bottom, and that might give Radiant the confidence to go now for Roche. Although he does have a TP as well, so he might still show up for this. Pendant's down, and it looks like there will not be a contention.
Fast.
Yeah. So much minus armor. And Aegis now there for the Vengeful Spirit. Where do they go with this?
I think they're probably going to be put like immediately on lane defense. Like this is again what I was talking about with the wave clear. Because they just don't have heroes that go creeps that fast. They're going to be forced around the map a lot. And it can be the Mirana doing it, can be the Sand King doing it. They're just going to give Dendi like the safe farm until he has enough items to feel, you know, good walking across the river. Because for now, he doesn't really have to do that. He's got 2 really mobile playmaking type cores to do that.
Yeah. Another sleep here, used onto Witch Doctor, and they have a grip available if they want to use it. Doom is moving in yet again, but the stun's going to be there, and a quick and easy pick off. Bane again, taking that one for himself.
Under attack.
Well,
Radiant structures.
Abba's gonna live. They're looking for a swap play here. Only level 1, but they do have vision. Just outside of range. They're trying to catch him, but he's gonna juke to to the south.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Is he actually gonna go for the courier? Oh my god, he's such a man if he does. Alright, nice up.
Thinking about going for this creep wave
Oh,
instead.
he wanted the wave, yeah.
Do they have anything to break TPs? No. No creeps there that have it,
Radiant
rather.
are scanning.
Well, a resummon on the birds, a ping for the tier 3. And meanwhile, bottom lane, the rest of these heroes, they all do have TPs from what it looks like. Rana and Doom coming back now as well. Smoke up from General. Gonna hide in the trees, ready for an epicenter. This time looking for it to not be canceled. There's going to epi out, Burrow 2. The pipe is still there, make the Abaddon in the world.
By the time you see the pipe popped and some
Tough, but the tier 2 tower gonna be pressured.
and they know that oh actually Epi
That was all happening while General just pushed out the other lane.
Is under attack.
again, this is looks like they're not gonna.
They're trying to bring them down. There's a Yule Scepter to turn this one as well. Sniper's still dealing all the damage in the background that he could possibly want. Another burst also going to be doomed. They buy back on Chen for the hand of God. That's not bad. LeBron might have gone too far. One does have a Prophetic Field, and that's going to be walking out as well. They're trying to back out. This is Bird Strike from General with the sand. Be enough as Lil is going
The second pipe, which, you know, I get it. That's like the main reason how they're gonna clear out the team fight is like the epicenter and stuff like that. But it feels like he just keeps getting bigger and bigger every single time they defend. You can see like the items are just falling behind. Like Dendy's top, he's got his full Hurricane Pike done, maybe working his way towards the BKB lanes. We saw General top before the push even started, and then they go in, they take this really long fight, they don't get anything out of it, and now they are just 100% on the back foot.
And even though they have all these pipes, I don't even know if that's enough to deal with all of the magical damage that's coming out. Like, you've got Maledict for one, the Marana Ags, and she's going to have a Blink Dagger now done also. Maelstrom on Sniper, the Shrapnel going, like Scorched Earth. There's just so much magical damage that, I don't know, I feel like they need like BKBs or something, and that's not even really that viable as the chase forward. They want to find somebody. It's a grip onto Lil. The rest of Navi retreating. They're going to leave one for the Wolves. Get out.
It's a classic 5-man response here. SM's been doing this literally every single game. They just send the 5 heroes down. If you take the fight, you know, they're gonna be there. All of them, pretty much. I mean, I guess that Chen...
You see this here? Are they really going to go for this? There's no way, right?
This is a super YOLO. I think they're more just here for like the information and just creep cutting than anything. Like, look at how confident they are that they just can't die. So like the only wave they need to kill now, because Crystallize is going to cut, is they're going to only have to kill like these 4 melee creeps and a range creep. And then the push is just done, because you won't have a wave anymore.
All the other creep waves are done as well. Yeah, General's not going to be there for the epicenter, but LeBron's in the area. Sniper can be there as well with the Shrapnel. And yeah, SM realized that they're not going to be able to do this, and they back out. They're instead going to try and find Crystallize, but he's behind a tree. And it does manage to TP out. And again, you just can't punish Navi. They're too slippery.
Yeah, it's the biggest weakness with lineups like this. When you don't pick wave clear or you don't pick catch, right? Like they really don't have either. And that's like, it's not necessarily an all-in lineup, it's just a push lineup, more or less. And that's why, you know, in the previous game when I was saying they kind of needed some catch, I was kind of looking at Clockwork and, you know, they didn't get their hands on it because it got banned. But that's like the type of situation where you want a hero like that.
Well, they find themselves a Bane. It's about the best you could hope for if you're Radiant as far as heroes to go down. But this is more emblematic of Navi streaming across the map. All the creep waves are over the river. And now they're going to try and, if they want to, do a little bit of assault on the high ground. But honestly, it doesn't feel like they have to. They can play it safe if they want.
Yeah, there's no rush at all. Like, Navi are 100% controlling the game. Like, even if they're not like pushing all 3 lanes simultaneously, as long as 2 out of 3 are pushed, it's really difficult for SM to make a move that they're not gonna predict. Like, that's the one thing about like making a comeback with a team like this that just makes you feel overwhelmed, is that you don't have the initiator.
Yeah.
So the only way you're really gonna get a fight is if you just run into towers, which is pretty much what they were trying to do, and that failed. So now it's like, the only other way we're going to get a fight is try to bait a hero on a side lane with a smoke or something, and that's just way too obvious. So your options are just super, super limited.
I mean, it feels as if maybe like the Vengeful Spirit swap is going to be that answer later, but right now it's still only level 2. They're able to outrange it anyways, and again, that's also predicated upon Navi like sieging the high ground and putting themselves in a bad position, which doesn't seem like they're interested in doing. And Sniper, you know, you're talking about earlier that he wasn't doing all that much damage. I feel like he's starting to get to that point now and building towards the MKB.
Yeah, he's even gonna... He actually went Shrapnel DPS. I very rarely see snipers take that talent.
Oh, this is big though. Do they decide to go on to Dendi here?
Dude, the sniper's got a DD. The sniper's got a freaking DD. You need to get... Oh, are they actually... They don't even care? Are they gonna go?
Hand of God, they're showing up. They get to snipe this Burrow striking through onto 2, but they do manage to get the Roche. They're actually taking down General. He's gone. Now the swap. They're trying to take down the sniper. Running away is Dendi. He's going to be able to escape from that initiation. And now they don't have any other controlling mechanisms for him, as the Doom is there onto the Visage, and Witch Doctor starting to fall low as well. They're actually looking okay in this fight.
That was way better than I expected, honestly. Like, the sniper had a DD, I guess it faded like shortly after he killed the Chen, because the Chen got like 3 shot.
Yeah.
I think if Dendi had his had even like one more item on him, they probably would have been able to just wipe that one. But yeah, I guess they lost their first tier a little bit too fast and then decided they didn't want to continue to commit for it because they just didn't feel like it was worth it. But another Aegis going to be on the bench. And I assume they're just going to keep doing what they have been, which is walk down the lane and try to force them to do something. But if you look at top and bottom, it's like same stuff every time.
Yeah, I mean, you can think of little things like Chen trying to get these creeps and then going for like pushing out the side lanes with that. But again, he doesn't have the best creeps for it in the world. Really, like multiple Tormentors would be the best pickup. And then also you've got the problem of General set up down here. He's thinking about it. There's no way he kills this match.
Yeah, he doesn't do enough damage.
Yeah.
And even if he did, he would probably also die because of Blade Mail.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that he would have to Blade Mail fast enough, which, you know, who knows if he does or not. But
Right.
this is a high-risk, low-reward play. The only thing he really cares about are the creeps.
Yeah. So Chen now. I was kind of expecting him to keep those creeps down their bottom and then just recall them to himself, but he's going to send them mid right now. And it looks like they are deciding this is our wave. Unfortunately, it's their only wave because General is going to be there to cut the second one. They got to get it, and the Shrapnel DPS, they got to pipe these creeps. They got to do something to keep them alive.
They got 2 pipes, man. They're going hard right now.
Pipe 2, Electric Boogaloo. Creeps are falling, swap back. Oh, almost catching a good bit of damage there onto the Witch Doctor, and still they don't have an answer for the sniper. They don't have a swap, they don't have anything. Witch Doctor ulted is down as well. They burn through the Aegis, the epicenter. They're all starting to fall. Oh man, and now Venge left completely alone is gonna fall. They get the Doom down as well, so there's not gonna be any way for this Visage out of here. Has the cheese, but obviously can't use it, and they are all gonna die. Abaddon is just delaying the inevitable. He's not even going to be able to get any type of a kill there on the Dendi. They're all dead. Rascal, it hurts.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much like the GG moment, honestly. Like, after you lose that fight that badly, that I don't really see how they're going to be able to make a comeback. It's just way too much. Like, they can't get to the sniper. They try to go for a swap play, it fails. And then, you know, how are you ever going to go high ground without taking a team fight? Better question, how are you going to get the team fight that you want when you can't control the lanes?
Yeah.
Like, that's the real issue. Is like, Dota is so much about wave clearing that you aren't going to find a profitable engagement. Even if you get a pick or 2, who cares if you can't hit a tier 3?
General just standing inside of their base a second ago, daring them to do anything at all. And well, Radiant, a final hurrah. It might be a whimper as this game is looking to maybe close out here. Sniper is standing so far back right now, and the tower is just going to drop. Double catapult wave, why not? The Nightmare combo together with the Magic Missile, not always the most classic of combos. And Navi Looking very, very good in this one, and now Venge might have gone a bit too far. All she wants to do is swap the sniper, but it's not happening. And continuing to just assault these lanes. Arrow hits onto Bane, but they're fine. Wait for the next wave.
Yeah, this is brutal. So hard for them to stop. And the funny part about this is, like, normally you'd have a hero out on the map, like one person, like pushing a side lane, and Shachlo's doing it right now. And you would be able to, like, eventually force the enemy team back because they would have to address, like, a tier 3 being hit. They can't even do that because any hero that would be good at killing creeps, they need to be there to defend. Like, if the Venge wasn't there, they would probably just kill the tower and the racks without any contention whatsoever.
Look at them go. They're just like, you know what? Screw you guys are talking about. We're going to freaking take this tower if it means our life is over. They're
Dude, they
all
got
running.
3 catapults. Look at the catapult army right now. This is it right here.
All right, going in for it. They've got 4 because they got 1 that's their own creeps. And actually, they do find a stun there onto Dendi, but not going to go for any more. All the catapults hitting with extra attacks because of Curse of Avernus on the back lines, though. They found the Doom onto the Visage, and, well, now the Witch Doctor caught for the moment. Hannah got as well. They might be able to do something, but the damage is so significant. Pops the cheese for the Venge, still living. Actually fairly survivable here, but with the Epicenter out, it might finally be too much. They lose 2 of their cores, the last one running away, and it is going to be Navi remaining victorious. But they got that freaking tower. GG called.
They got their tier 3. That's a moral victory right there, dude. Take those. That was pretty rough to watch the last couple of pushes because it's so obvious, and you know you're playing in a competitive game and you probably feel it because you know you're a Dota player and you've experienced this type of stuff before when you think, man, we are not going to get this high ground, but you got to go for it because it's literally your only chance.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels kind of bad because I think that these types of lineups are very, very heavily based in execution. And if you don't get the proper momentum in the early game against what Navi have, it is insanely hard to play from behind. Just super, super hard.
And they didn't really leave themselves any outs in the draft, like you're saying. Like, there aren't really those team fighters. And it's Navi just building that more well-rounded lineup and also taking advantage of, you know, not playing into that tempo and energy that you get from the SM lineup. Because if you try and like fight into that lineup too early, I think that you do just get ran over, sort of. But a good amount of patience, persistence, perseverance, all of the words starting with the letter P. Andy, we got another series coming up here in a second, though. It's Gambit versus Vega. How you feeling about that one?
I think it should probably be a closer series. Definitely. I think that the one game that SM won, they showcased that they have talent. You know, they have the capability of playing well and drafting a nice team. But yeah, next game to me should be a bit more exciting.
And then, everybody, the game after that one, I believe Andy will be asleep at that point because he'll have been up for like 29 hours or something crazy. But it's going to be Navi playing again later today, where they face the winner of our next series. So a lot of great Dota 2 going on all over the world today. We're going to be back in a little bit with our second series in just a few minutes. So stay tuned, everybody. More from the MDL Major Qualifiers CIS region right after this.
Teach one, we reach on Maryland and Cincinnati to the far east, son. And we just begun to spread the gospel. Substantial pace rock, hip-hop apostles. Far from preaching with this art you call rapping. Taking y'all back when before this all happened. Frontin' hardcore when you barely soft porn. Never penetrating the end to get your heart warm. Rock on at the ridiculous pace. Disrespect hip-hop and I'll spit in your face. These kids have a waste of oxygen. It's madness, get in your case and all your shit. Like bag checks, got my eye on ya. Like insanity grabbed ya. Y'all see the packaging and I can't stand rappers. You're bound to get ripped and then turned into garbage. I stay blessing mics, my followers pay homage. Sub stand blessing it, yes I am blessing it. UV for life, oh yes we stay blessing it.
Hey, I'm blessing it, yes I stay blessing it. 5Ds forever, you know we stay blessing it.
Sub stand blessing it, yes I am blessing it. UV for life, hell yes, we stay blessing it.
Peace, I'm blessing it. Yes, I stay blessing it. 5 D's forever, you know we stay blessing it. On point like the prince we right with, living righteous. In these times of peril and crisis, the pain is squeeze you lifeless. Yeah. What's the matter? Who's the nicest? Who's alive? Who's gonna live to see the livest? Hopefully me, my lifeline of MC extends past the paying dues. How much it costs to be free? Deep rooted underground, but on the surface a tree. Branching out, all I ever really wanted to be. They wanna put us in a box and then pack it away, but we ain't having that. No parts, no which way. Yo, I'm going to the top and that's where I stay. Fuck the middle ground, cold getting biz while you were sitting down. The joint sound hitting now, freestyle or written down. Flow is played out, money, you need to get that shit in style. Speedy on the quick fast, long term we make it last. Forever and a day, stay clear of the path, cause yo.
Staying blessing it, yes I am blessing it. You be for life, hell yes we stay blessing it.
Peace, I'm blessing it. Yes, I stay blessing it. 5 D's forever, you know we stay blessing it.
Staying blessing it, yes I am blessing it. You be for life, hell yes we stay blessing it.
Peace, I'm blessing it. Yes, I stay blessing it. 5 D's forever, you know we stay blessing it.
Children of the sun, look out, here we come. Live in Brooklyn, Maryland's where I'm from. We don't stop till you had enough. 5D's UV connect, that's what's up.
Children of the sun, watch out, we coming for ya. Rocking from the natty Midwest to California, and it don't stop even when you had enough. Pays and substantial, dude, that's what's up.
Blessing it, effortless, testing this, doubt it. Mic specialist, some we kept up and sprouted. As nice as you wish you were, Mike's on my signature. Thought you said your shit is high, it's barely room temperature.
Scorching, torturing cats from Cincinnati to New York and back, where the pad don't say jack. When we bankrupt the crew from spinning the wheel of fortune black, we take you there and send you walking back.
Staying blessing it, yes I am blessing it. You be for life, hell yes we stay blessing it.
Peace, I'm blessing it, yes I stay blessing it. 5 D's forever, you know we stay blessing it.
Staying blessing it, yes I am blessing it. You be for life, hell yes we stay blessing it.
Peace, I'm blessing it, yes I stay blessing it. 5 D's forever, you know we stay blessing it.
crush a coal to a diamond, eyes forever shining. Your beauty alone inspire a nigga to rhyming. Thinking of the better things in life, thinking of how I could persuade you to become my wife. Hand in hand as we floating over tropical sands. You my lady, I'm your man, so let's further advance to the next scene. Me sleeping next to you, resting. You're the personification of all God's blessings. Coming to me in just one physical being, one physical dream that I want to redeem. Yo, voluptuous, sweet caramel, brown honeydew, satin skin smooth to the touch. What a nigga do, so sensual. Her smile like a chemical extract of perfection. Rare mineral, she smell like a happy birthday on a Thursday. Quiet time, love, sleep in, awake early. Honey brown with the long black hair, teasing me with a kiss and a stare. Slight touch and you taking me there. So fine and it just ain't fair. So beautiful and so damn rare. She's angelic and energetic, using sex as a weapon. I reckon that I confess in the body is just a blessing from God down to earth. She needs to be in the church to prove we didn't spawn from fish, but God's work. Hurts to see her glow, cause her body beholds secrets untold, value like platinum and gold. But she is the key to open my mind and see the energy that radiates from the gates of heavenly bliss. I reminisce over touching a kiss while you fucking the bitch. I go to make none of my miss. Never scandalous, it's unanimous. After you were handling lights off and candlelit rooms are glamorous. So I call you love sexual, you look edible. Parallel, snuggle up, close, intellectual. In a rendezvous, who was you a rap hairdo? No makeup, but jeans, shorts, open toe shoe. I wanna hold you, mold your soul, I behold you, know you. Better than myself, never own you, but keep you, never leave you, I beseech you. God's gift to man is you wearing a see-through. Riding sea-dunes in Atlantic Ocean, causing commotion. Lay you down, going through the motions. Keeping skin soft lotions, got me coasting. Down pretty round brown thighs, again a slow lady brown with the long black hair. Teasing me with a kiss and a stare. Slight touch and you're taking me there. So fine and it just ain't fair. So beautiful and so damn rare. Yo. Look at this agreeable, delightful, delectable, unforgettable, so sweet she may be edible. She needs a pedestal to step out of heaven. You ready, boo? Never hypothetical, you facts. Fuck theatrical, baby girl, because you actual. Physically, your chemistry is so mathematical. How to use academics to define your spirit. You lifted my limits, your name off on my tongue is a lyric. She's a compilation of my mind's representation of a representative, representing an excellent revelation of time and dedication. Never impatient, she know the deal. Herself to me, so I can see her heavenly ways and heavenly gaze. And plus, it don't hurt that she hasn't asked for days. Okay. So as we lay, I reminisce on the day that we met. Please, God, never let me forget. Individual stars float in the ocean of God, rocking a peaker in the saddle while I'm visiting Mars. Egos bigger than Jupiter, I'm breaking the bars, holding me back down to earth with physical laws, touching the moon. Grace as I ready resume. Comments flying through space, bringing possible doom. Blocking the sun, bring a holocaust on the world. I'm talking back to Father Time, Mother Earth is my girl. I got the wings of angels walking down the valley of death, watching my step, cause the devils never want to respect. Come correct on the studio track, taking it back to the pen and pad. I blast the original rap. Brother on the b-boy tip with Krylon spit. I tag the charts with the graphical hits. So who you fucking with? Arm, leg, lead to arm, head. Snapping your neck back while you spit out a pen. I be the original son of a bitch, hurting your wrist. Could you spinning my shit so much the needle skip? Flip to the rhythm and reminisce. Remember the days in 9-4 hip-hop as a gift. Words out of her lips came straight from the heart. Never pre-packaged or bought, both negative thought. Pedal to consumers, magazines and rumors. Commercial spots turn real artists to clueless. Precise rap, rock and roll, nigga, let's do this. I float through notes, break beats with my maneuvers. Yo, regardless, while I be moving swiftly through darkness, plotting chart on my path, I'm running, cutting my losses, stumbling over unknown bumps and complications and tribulations on my life for revelation. Yo, regardless, while I be moving swiftly through darkness, plotting chart on my path, I'm running, cutting my losses, stumbling over unknown bumps and complications and tribulations on my life for revelation. Speaking to scorpions, making my heart turn to porcelain. It used to have a steady beat, now it's easily broken. Mind coasting, train of thought, stopped emotions. Welling at the core, my being causing commotion. Need to release, could the stress it tear me to pieces. My love ceases and my thoughts breaking the leases. I had on my life, but the strife making me leave this. I can't beat this, going to God to defeat this. Will he help or do I have to do this myself? Alone and confused, the blues burning my health. My eyes remain closed cause my highs and lows. I'm feeling the blows of rain cause my pain is cold. Now who am I? A man or a pawn in life? Living day to day, I pray, am I wrong or right? Losing my mind, so maybe you can help me find the way to go, so I can be leaving this pain behind, trying to sleep. Sleep is a cousin of death, said a wise man from Queensbridge on beats he blessed. Trying to rest instead, I rest my head on a pillow of hardships. Misery is the bed. On my back, I lie, I can see the skies through a glass ceiling. The reason tears drowning my eyes and I can't move. Grief won't let me think, my soul is dry. I called just to take a drink, I made you blink. Think like a visible man with mechanical hands trying to reach out to my fan. Yo, regardless, while I be moving swiftly through darkness, plotting chart on my path, I'm running, cutting my losses, stumbling over unknown bumps and complications and tribulations on my life for revelation. Yo, regardless, while I be moving swiftly through darkness, plotting chart on my path, I'm running, cutting my losses, stumbling over unknown bumps and complications and tribulations on my life for revelation. Yo, viscosity of the hidden meaning between my words, thinking the plot, I cock hidden rhythms of verse, I'm loading the hearse, you biting like a Dracula curse, I'm bringing the roast to hurt like a sermon in church pertaining to you. Hurts just to listen to truth, so you rather listen to lies, so you live in the lose. I'm beginning to win. Young man, mastering sin, battle within. Looking at the devil and grin, I'm flipping the script. Walking on a journey and trip, on a gurney and miss. At the fact that life is a bitch, and I'm hating this shit. Losing blood, making me crip. Stakes inside, bet and I lost the grip. Searching for bliss, with the razor over my wrist. Needing a job, but the drug test, checking my piss. Peeking through a window and seeing immaculate conception reborn. Piercing my core with 7 swords, igniting the war. Looking to the eyes of the Lord, calculating what more. Seeing the signs of heaven nevermore. The last matador, riding a pale horse. Losing my horse, splitting the hands, causing divorce. Marriage are born, a havoc and song. I stumble upon lost jewels and thought to be gone, lost forever. I sever motherfuckers with letters, written in script. Forward to the rap that I rip from the top of the lip. Make a drink, taking a sip, then I'm open the shit, falling deeper in the abyss.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the MDL qualifiers for the CIS region. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by the lovely Drascal DOTA 2, one of the best Twitter handles in all of the world, as we hop into this game number 1 of Vega Squadron versus Gambit. My man, how you doing? You have yourself a nice old time?
I did. I had a little bit of a break, got some drink, a little snack.
Ooh.
Also, I like the Twitter shaming. It's good. I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. You know, there's a couple of names I haven't gotten to cast in a while. Like, I think the last time I casted a game with Vanscore in it, he was still on Navi.
Oh
Like,
my
that's
God.
how long it's been. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's the last time that I think he was probably super relevant. I guess he played for Empire for a little while, if I'm not mistaken. Tracking like the inner workings of, I mean, any region is tough, but CIS in particular has a lot of rotations. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one. You got BZZ up in here, Bignum, Cheshire Cat, Daxic, and then of course the Vega Squadron lineup, which changed around, I want to say about 3 months ago or something. They've still got a nice little combo of players in this one. I've been fairly impressed with them recently.
Yeah, I definitely recognize Undershock, Blizzy, and Zayak. Palantimos is the only guy I don't know.
10 seconds
So,
remaining.
yeah, I think it should be an interesting match. I mean, sometimes you get like those
5
lopsided
seconds
matches where a lot of people saw the first series and thought that Navi would just 2-0, and you get surprised.
Mhm.
This series, I have no idea who's going to win, which makes it exciting for me, because kind of thinking a team's going to win coming into it by like a wide margin makes it like, it's less fun, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And, well, Gambit is going to be taking away the
Radiant team
Disruptor,
back.
so Slayer is not going to be able to get his hands on that, although it probably would have ended up being him playing the Rubric regardless. Tiny and Viper, a very, very different look to this game than we had previously. I guess that's partially because the heroes banned out. Vega do not want to play against the Chen, Omni Knight, or the Death Prophet, while the Razor,
10
Witch Doctor,
seconds
and
remaining.
Enchantress are also taken out of the pool. The other thing to mention, this is a very international lineup that you
5
got from
seconds
Vega. It's not
remaining.
just like all Russia or Ukraine or anything. In fact, they
Dire
only have
team
one
back.
Russian on their team with Undershock, and then it's mostly from Kyrgyzstan, Blizzy and Zayak, and then Plantimos is from, I think, Belarus as well. So they're all over the damn place. But should be a good match.
Yeah, I think the Chen ban especially is like, I actually rate that hero very
10
highly in
seconds
competitive
remaining.
play, just because a good Chen can completely dismantle an early game, gets you a free
5
lane win
seconds
in the
remaining.
off lane. Well, maybe not a win, but like a really big advantage at the very least. So I'm looking to see what kind of style these teams play, because honestly, I have not seen a lot of second pick Viper. In fact, I just haven't seen a lot of Viper, period.
Yeah, he's not really all over the place all that often. I think we saw a couple times at the Minor just a couple days ago, but it was mainly
Radiant
like, I think Pepita who was playing it, who I hear is a very accomplished
Dire
Viper
team
player. But here we go,
Radiant
Dark
team
Willow,
pick.
it's happening.
Can you use the words accomplished Viper player together? Like, is that a thing? Like, now, I know there was, who was it who really loved playing Viper? It was Pycat.
Yeah.
He would always say that he loved playing
Radiant
Viper, and I would
team
flame him for it, just like ruthlessly every single time.
With good reason.
It's one of those heroes where it's like, you just right-click stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, you got a new active skill that you put in the ground. Wow, impressive. But yeah, I gotta give him credit for it, because Pycat and we go
10
way back.
seconds
You know,
remaining.
it's a good time. But let's see,
5
Lycan
seconds
pick
remaining.
actually extremely good against Gambit's team right now. There is the Clockwork, which is pretty much the only reliable stun. It's still pretty hard to hit
Dire team
Avatos
back.
on a Lycan who shapeshifted, but I guess if you catch him before that, it's okay.
Right.
And they got like the SF Shadow Fiend, which is nice for the mid lane. But even with that, we're looking at what, maybe a Willow 4, maybe Willow off lane? I guess we don't know for sure what he's doing yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm fully convinced on
10
the Dark
seconds
Willow 4 in
remaining.
competitive yet. I know in pubs it's like incredibly annoying to deal with, but
5
I've been
seconds
seeing it
remaining.
dealt with fairly well in competitive so far, and you end up feeling like you don't do as much just because you can't like snowball as quickly. Maybe that's where those other heroes would work it out, but I like the idea of more of the Willow 3 as... I mean, the big question for me is how are they going to deal with this SF Clockwork? That's feeling like it could be tough.
That's probably the main reason why I think the Willow should be 3 this game, is because they need a hero that's more impactful at moving around the map than a Willow. Her spells are just too long of a cooldown to reliably be able to say, all right, we're killing this SF, and if I don't kill him, I got to come back in like a minute. Like that, her cooldowns are just
Dire
ridiculous. So
team pick.
we'll see. Okay, they actually think that it is a support because they banned Puck.
Radiant team pick.
So they think maybe they were going to go for the Puck off lane, I suppose, and the Willow would have been the 4. But I guess, yeah, we'll see here in just a second.
Brewmaster taken now as well for Gambit, so they've got a lot of early teamfight potential. Control, damage might be a bit lacking, depending upon,
10
again, like you're mentioning, that
remaining.
Avatos, if it's going to be reliable. But that's where the Shadow Fiend and Tiny are going to have to
5
pick up the
seconds
slack.
remaining.
Last pick for Vega. Initiator or Roamer? What are we seeing here?
I would like Initiation, honestly. Like, I look at their heroes and I see a lot of damage and actual disable, but no hero that really like gets in. You know, like they got the Clockwork on Gambit, and the Tiny can toss people in too. Okay, that hero definitely gets in, and that's a combination that we haven't seen in a while. The Lycan NS used to be like first phase material not too long ago, a couple months maybe.
Wow.
But yeah, we've changed it up.
And it's actually going to be a Blizzy Nightstalker, so they're putting it position 3 with Zayak on the 4. Okay, it's a cool draft. I like it. It's still the big question mark for me is how are they going to deal with this SF? I guess maybe like around that 4-minute mark, Blizzy goes for the rotation mid and tries to find a kill. Is that the play?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the one making the rotations. He's going to play, I guess, similar to how General played for Navi when they were playing against SM a couple of minutes ago. But the NS is great against Brewmaster, especially because really long duration silences just crush that hero. A lot of the time, you want to be able to just get in, blink, get your clap off, split, and ideally you cyclone the Lycan when he's in his ult form, so he can't just run around and tear people up. But I think he's going to have a lot harder of a time if there's a Night Stalker just running at him and chaining silences at night.
Yeah. So
Prepare
early
for
movements
battle.
out now by Vega Squadron as they are going to smoke in towards mid, and it looks like maybe try and, I guess, get some deep wards out as well. As far as laning stage matchups, I feel like I always ask this question, but any things that you really need to watch out for, danger zones for either team?
I think the first night, obviously, is going to be the time where Vega feel like that's their time to shine. The low-level Willow, while she does have like a pretty decent base damage and her attack, her bat is really low base attack time, so she can be a nuisance. But other than that, her spells are all pretty long cooldowns in the early game. So I think it's going to be a bit of slow rolling here from Vega. Try to secure mid. And then for Gambit, I think that the hero that's really going to be able to make something happen is probably just going to be the Tiny. And maybe if the Clockwork gets fortunate enough to catch out someone in the cog, that's pretty much the way they're going to get kills here.
Okay. Well, Tiny is moving down towards bottom, it looks like. They were showing the Brewmaster there, and now going to wrap him up towards the top lane. So maybe doing a little bit of subterfuge as mid lane. Mr. Undershock going to be matching up against a Shadow Fiend. Early game rotations. Anyone that you think might end up putting themselves, like, trying to find some kills anywhere, or is it going to be fairly static lanes?
I think it'll be static for Radiant, more like a reactionary style even.
Yeah.
Like either that or, yeah, pretty much just reactionary Dota. And then Dire Team is going to be the ones probably looking to make more happen just because they do have the Disruptor and the Clockwork. Those heroes are much better at getting early kills. Okay. So if I had to say, Gambit probably has the tools to get the kill before Vega does because they kind of need that first night.
Okay. So, watching this one now, Gambit gonna try and deal some damage while simultaneously harassing, but Vanscore maybe a bit too far forward. He's just gonna try and TP out. Do they have the damage? They don't quite get him. He's by the skin of his teeth out of there.
Yeah, that was like literally the best possible scenario. They catch him out, and 3 heroes are autoing him, and they still can't get a kill. That's like the big issue with this support duo is that you really do lack damage, as you do with like most Rubik support duos.
Yeah. The other thing was a very heavy wave push in here top. The Dark Willow pulled the creep wave in towards mid and then ended up heading out afterwards. Now Blizzy gonna try and last hit underneath tower with the Drunken Haze on him. Never the best feeling in the world, but at least he'll get a lot of experience here and get it solo too.
Oh, yeah, this is pretty much just a straight up 1v1, so they're not gonna really have too much outside influence because mid, they know that the Shadow Fiend started with Soul, so they want to try to pressure him, and then because they know that they want to try to pressure him, Big Num's going to be sticking around too. So they're like mid and bottom are going to be the lanes where the majority of this stuff happens.
It's Tiny taking some of that harassment from the Dark Willow, even at just level 1. The Shadow Realm does a lot of damage. And also, before 6, Tiny no armor, which could prove to be a bit problematic against this Lycan if they're able to get any extra help. And, well, Zayak moving in with the Dark Willow, but probably needs level 2 before they can do anything.
Yeah, all he's got right now is that Shadow Realm. I mean, it does a little bit of damage, and then that's about it. So even like the level 1 Curse Crown is only a 2-second stun, and then Bramble is only 1. And a lot of people got real good at dodging that real fast as soon as they put Dark Willow in the competitive. So it's one of those spells that you just kind of get used to.
Yeah. I wonder if it's more worth it to take the Curse Crown first for him in this lane. He's hanging on to the points right now.
It depends on how far up the offlaner is. Like if Daxic is where he is now, then I could see Curse Crown being useful. But otherwise, you know, if he's right by his tower, Bramble Maze probably gives you more bang for your buck.
Okay. Again,
because you need that countdown, right? That time where you're actually going to get the stun, and that whole time he's going to be spent running to his tower.
Yeah. The 1v1 top, definitely Brewmaster in the lead of this one right now. 19-1 versus 10-3. Getting kind of destroyed there, as to be expected with the Drunken Haze. But still, tossed back underneath the tower for a second there. Lycan's going to take some damage, should be fine. Although it's going to be caught in the Static Storm. They do have another toss and an Avalanche, actually. It's close to going down there.
Yeah, they're level 1 though, so it doesn't really do that much damage. I think he'll probably go for like the 1-3. Oh, middle lane.
Yeah, Slayer's going to go down. BZZ taking that kill. And continuing to just dominate this lane. 7-4 on the Viper. This feels awful.
Yeah, so a lot of people probably have played the new Viper, and you know he's great and everything, but the old Nether Toxin helped you with last hitting, right? Because it did damage based on the amount of health the monster or person was missing when you hit them. The problem with the new one is that you can't really use it to CS because it's not immediate damage. It's damage over time.
Yeah.
So you lost a lot of your last hitting potential that Viper used to have. So now when you're at a base damage deficit, you actually just get owned in the lane if you're not taking like direct trades, because most people are not going to want to trade with the Viper, so they just try to out-CS you instead. Yeah. And he's got a real hard time dealing with that because he's a 280 base movement speed hero too.
And they're going to need to make that rotation in a few to find that kill. In the meantime, though, they are chasing forward for Cheshire Cat. They are dealing a lot of damage in return, though. And the rotation for Bignum means that it's not going to be any type of a kill from Vega Squadron. I mean, Blizzy feels like he can rotate mid at this point, right?
I think that they need to try to kill the Shadow Fiend. Like he got spotted. This is not going to work.
SF under his tower now. Salve. They have a Mango, but yeah, he just gets hit by the tower, and that about puts the kibosh on that.
Yeah, that was a really awkward movement, to be honest. Like, he walked on the top side of the river. I mean, he is Night Stalker, so maybe he just thought that he would get away with it because his rotation is actually fast. He gets across the map, like, relatively easy.
Yeah.
But you gotta, like, buy a smoke or something, or, like, do something a little bit more sneaky than just, hey, I'm walking through the river.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And you're still looking at this Undershock Viper just getting pretty well handled right now in this laning stage. And this is not a hero that's great at coming back. I guess maybe it's a little bit better than it used to be because of team fighting potential, but still really rough.
Yeah, this NS has to do something. I don't think he can be sitting here farming his lane right now. He is the hero that does stuff. He is the one.
Now, Cheshire Cat, under his tower, has level 6. Like, Dark Willow is here, but there's no way they can kill him.
Yeah, they don't have the damage. Even if he doesn't even have Silence skilled. And he didn't skill at a level 6 either, he just put a point into his ultimate, so there is no way they're killing him.
Well, they're going to try and deal damage. If they're not careful, they might end up losing a hero here, in fact. And they're actually going to glimpse them back in, and now they pop the Bruce, but Blizzy in trouble. They actually stunned the creep, though. Did not manage to find that Night Stalker, and that might get him away. I don't know if he would have been dead anyways.
That was that's one of those silver linings. Yeah, I think he didn't have vision on the Willow to get the glimpse on him, so he went for the NS instead. And I mean, they forced a split, so I mean, I guess worse things have happened.
now wrap around mid. Blizzy and Slayer are here. And Shadow Fiend is not. He's just going to run away. I don't want to be in this lane anymore. There are a lot of stacks in the jungle. Any heroes from Vega that could maybe try and steal that away?
Radiant's top tower is under
Nope.
attack.
They got no stack killers. They got to bring the Rubik plus like 2 heroes if they want to take a stack. And that is just not worth the commitment, especially considering like the positioning of the stacks themselves. You're putting yourself between a tier 2 and a shrine and a tier 1. That's like terrifying. You do not want to be standing there.
Well, things looking up for Gambit right now as Vega struggling to find answers for this, and Blizzy as well as the Rubik, they take away some amount of this. I guess that this draft really, in some ways, doesn't come online fully yet. The Night Stalker Lycan is still going to be strong later.
I think that they do have some scalability for sure.
Yeah.
My concern is just that, you know, Night Stalkers who play 4 do more on the first night than this 3 position has, and he has way more EXP.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I
under
really
attack.
thought that they would be able to find something in the first night, but they didn't get a single kill. Like, they didn't TP bottom, they didn't smoke for mid, they just farmed. So it's a bit of a bummer, I think, for Vega right now, and they're gonna have to slow roll it, I think, until next night phase.
Invis, Clockwork. Now, they did force out the Brew split. Maybe with Lycan in the area, they could try and do something in the next 20 seconds before it's up again. Clockwork was not able to go for an initiation onto Undershock. He is nearby him right now, but still could be tough. He's just going to soak up experience. We'll see if they try and make this move, but 10 seconds left. I don't think that they can do anything to Cheshire Cat now. Dominator on the Lycan. And they're going to be able to clap at him now. The TP rotations are coming in, and that feels so bad. Oh God!
I think he missed the thunderclap.
That feels awful.
Dire's structures
Yeah, this
are
is really
fortified.
awkward.
And I mean, Blizzy, no points in silence right here. Lycan also doesn't have any points in Howl. I don't know if that's the normal build or not, but
I think people usually skill Howl.
Radiant's top tower
I'm not
is
like a
under
Lycan
attack.
expert by any means, but I do seem to recall people getting Howl because it's just so good for like fighting potential in the early game, and you already have an NS, and that's like the whole reason you pick. The NS makes it nighttime. That's pretty much why people pick the combination.
yeah. And still, Gambit is going to get these stacks going. So this timing when you want to be a little bit stronger for Vega, missing out on it now. Take the net worth. It is still, you know, all of these heroes within pretty close proximity to each other net worth-wise. There hasn't really been any kills at all. A big departure for rather.
It's just a farm fest. I mean, it happens sometimes. I think that, you know, the way that Vegas start fights, they only have one hero to do it. If he's not making the moves, no one is.
Yeah. And is that bad? Like, it's a missed opportunity in some ways, but does that, like, does that hurt them going later into the or?
I think it's going to hurt him a lot. Actually, go pretty much wherever he wants. The time tower and bottom lane. So he's level 9. He's halfway to Blink with drums already.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I'm leaning to Blizzy to do more.
Radiant's bottom
Level
tower
10 now
has
on
fallen.
Tiny, and they are going to scan and hit the Lycan with this one. With the smoke on 2. Disruptor level 6.
Dire's top tower
Oh,
is under
this
attack.
Lycan is in a world of hurt, and they're just going to walk forward, I think, and go for the stage away, though. Actually gets him out of the kinetic field.
Is under attack.
Maybe a chance there. Curse Crown doesn't end up getting. It does stun onto 2 Lycan, and now Undershock wanting to make this work. Another kinetic field laid down. I mean, do bring down the SF, but is it enough? Bruce Wood is still going. They're starting to burn through this Willow and does have stick charges as well. Curse Crown out a second time. Undershock doing a good amount, but not enough.
Is under attack.
Very tanky though, and actually managed. I thought it was going to be so much worse than this, but Undershock is a man. Oh God!
That is the tankiest snake I've ever seen in my life. He actually just... That Fade Bolt salvaged that so hard, because you get like the damage reduction. That was a level 4 Fade Bolt too, so it's 35 hero damage reduction, and he had the Ava as well. So he stopped so much damage coming in. They're taking the tower. Now they're going to get BZZ on top of it.
Vegas!
That's what we need.
Try and get out of these cogs, realizes that he can just fly over them as it comes off cooldown, and now the runaway they're not going to be able to find that kill on a Night Stalker. Huge turn right there for the Radiant.
Yeah, that was a really good couple of kills. Around like a 2.5k swing, actually. Because until that Gambit, we're definitely leading, so... Nicely done. Daxic, in the meantime, looking for that light over to a Shadow Blade, so... He's looking for on the Lycan, or he'll...
I guess the other thing is later in the Undershock Viper is going to be key. We just saw how powerful that was, that last engagement. Is Cheshire Cat silenced now, the Bedlam on top of him, and Dark Willow has turned into Dark Willow.
Hero's a little bit silly when you hit 6. Like, the amount of damage, 3 ulti, you can do something like 3,500 damage with a full combo.
Oh, God.
It's actually stupid. Like, I think that's with Veil, though.
Dire's middle tower is under
Which he
attack.
is building, so he'll have that at his disposal.
Has fallen.
And now Vega, they're in a pretty dominant position here. Like, they're still hitting a very strong time, and still no Howl right now for the Lycan, which just blows my mind. Stronger team fighting presence for them?
Radiant's bottom tower.
The game is going right now. They feel like they don't atop a net worth chart right now, and he certainly hasn't needed the Howl. So I guess don't fix what ain't broke. You know, they got the momentum in their favor right now. They're pushing it. Gambit looking to respond by pressuring the tier 2 bottom.
We're going to come back in, another Curse Crown there, but the Glimpse does mean that they're going to need to bring another back if they want to defend, which means no Willow. And in fact, they're just going to trade out the towers fully. So Vega Squadron, their tower being pressured, hard to defend it. They're going to farm out the jungle instead. And oh, are they going to come back here? Okay. They bring in everybody in. Well, they get another glimpse away, but they are almost bringing down that Tiny. The Static Storm is down and has caught the Rubik. Everybody else needing to run away. As he does get the lift back, the stun. Not able to get the avalanche off in time, or rather the tree grab.
I'm just sad I didn't get to see him pick up a tree. I don't think I've ever actually seen that before. Like, I've never seen a Rubik with a tree.
Yeah, that's a kind of cool little interaction there. Vanscore does not manage to send back the Dark Willow far enough. And the Shadow-Bladed Tiny is going to try and run now. The turn here, Ava, toss, trying to cake down and kill off that Willow, which they do indeed do. Well, on the other side, the Shadow Fiend ends up going down as well as the... oh, Gaviki gets out. Shadow Fiend and the Clockwork go down too.
It was a little bit of a misplay from the NS there. He didn't know the Shadow Blade was on cooldown, so he uses Void too early. If he didn't Void there, and he just like went for the auto attacks, they would have gotten a tiny kill as well. Yeah. But still, you know, momentum still going the way of Vega here. 3k lead. They can just walk up another lane and push if they want to. They did have to pop the Shapeshift though, because I think Lantimos wanted to help get a secure on the Tiny. But yeah, losing the SF on top of that, ooh, that's a rough one. This is starting to get to a point where, you know, the laning phase is a little bit slow. Right. But we've passed like the 15-minute mark now, and things are definitely picking up.
And they're going to continue to accelerate that. You've got these pickups also. Blizzy going back for the pipe. One of the downsides that people often talk about with Night Stalkers, they doesn't provide a ton for the team outside of vision, but now also going to get that magic resistance, has a drum. It's a very team-focused draft overall also. Like, you know, the Helm of the Dominator on the Lycan, all those normal things building back towards Necro Books, a Veil on the Dark Willow. They're hitting hard.
Yeah, they are definitely not lacking in the damage department, I'll tell you that much. Even just the Night Stalker auto attacks, you know, phase drums, you get a fair amount of damage from that, then you get the attack speed bonus from Hunter in the Night. He definitely can throw out some DPS. And then, of course, you have Zayag's Willow. Time hook shot here.
Terrorized to try and get the rest of them away, and they're able to force staff the Lycan away as well. Now finding that kill onto the Clockwork. And they keep on getting cogs pushed out of the Static Storm.
Yeah, there's some anti-synergy going on here between the Clockwork and the Disruptor, which I think it's mainly just because like when they did it in the woods and they found the Lycan the first time,
yeah.
I think they genuinely did not expect that to even happen.
Right.
That's not an interaction you get to see very much, but it is an unfortunate thing.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have been able to kill him there anyways, because the Terrorize was already out and like able to force a lot of them away. But nonetheless, it is a push towards Roshan now. Vega trying to take this down. You have Shadow Fiend walking over as well. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get there in time, though. Looks like the answer is no. Clockwork also too far away and hookshot on cooldown. So Vega, pick up Roche, and now, are they really trying to fight this here? They're going to pull back in another one. Slayer controlled for the moment. Bramble's down as well. It's onto a couple of these heroes. There's going to be the Eul Scepter, so he does not get stunned. Cheshire Cat still walking forward, has his ulti. But Gambit will have to be content with just burning that Rubik.
I mean, that's good enough. They what, traded a Rubik for Roche?
Yeah.
I'd say they're more than satisfied with that one. They are probably also going to lose this tier 1 in the mid lane, but again, it's about what does the Aegis actually give you an opportunity to achieve. Like, are you going to get the tier 1s? Are you going to finish off the tier 2s? You know, how willing are Gambit going to be to fight into your Aegis? Because this is a Viper with a full Hurricane Pike finish. He's almost level 14. He's very hard to commit to in the first place, even to kill him once. And you can walk up to a tower with this guy, and it's going to be real difficult for Gambit to do much about it.
The Tiny finds the Dark Willow in the woods. Now Blizzy. Gonna pop Nighttime here as well, saving that Void as you were talking about earlier. He also has the Dust available for the Shadow Blade. Gotta be careful though, because still affects status resistance, that Dust. And Davik, they end up throwing it now. Dust's gonna come out, very low duration. And the chase, they don't look like they're gonna be able to get there in time. Instead, they're just gonna have to settle for the Victim kill, and then maybe a push afterwards.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get this tower. I mean, the Lycan Shapeshift is also going to sync up with this pretty nicely. He'll have it if they want to continue to go to the tier 2. And because of the fact that the Brewmaster had to go Eul's first, he doesn't have Blink yet. So Cheshire Cat is kind of in a situation where, to be really useful in the fights, he still needs another like 500 gold. And he doesn't have it yet. So at that time, yeah, I think Blantimos and Undershock are definitely going to take this tower. Look at how much freaking damage they do.
They got him. They pull him back in there, and it's going to be a kill on the SF in spite of the Static Storm drop. So now no SF, no Static Storm, and no Blink on Brew. This might be their time to shine as they push down bottom, take the second tier 2 tower of this game. And Vega, with only 2 heroes, threatening high ground a little bit, but wait, Viper 4 stats to the high ground. Aftershock and Undershock rather has lost his mind. But now this Night Stalker cannot go for the Hunter and the Knights to try and get away. They're going to disrupt her glimpse back in. Undershock again. Does still have that Aegis. So even if he ends up falling here, he's going to be able to come back afterwards. The Hurlballer goes out. Blizzy turning now onto this Tiny, and still the lift up onto Viper. It's about the best that they can do, but the tier 3 tower is being assaulted. 21 minutes into this one. Vega Squadron looking to try and take this down. Advanced score, nowhere left to go. He's going to drop. Now the Blink finally picked up for the Brew, but he doesn't have Split right now. Best that they can do is maybe go for Eul Scepter afterwards, but that's going to be a melee barracks going down. Now, are Vega Squadron going to stick around too long? They still have Disruptor Glimpse, but I don't know if Gambit can kill them.
I mean, they gotta do something. Like, they can't just let their entire base die.
Yeah. And the glimpse plays are the thing that Vega need to be a little bit cautious about, but at the same time, Undershock is just sitting under the tower. He still has this Aegis.
He's kind of taunting them, but he's just running around in circles getting hit by the tower. It's like, yeah, what are you guys going to do about this? What is your game plan? You know, it's really hard for the Dire team to directly fight when they don't have a way of initiating, and especially because of the fact that Cheshire Cat, you know, he did use a split, but when it's on cooldown, you have no way of stopping the Lycan, the Viper, or the NS. You know, we talked about how Vega is very single target oriented and how they go about fights, which is true. The only like real AoE they have is like the Willow, and that's with just the Brambles, and then the ulti can hit multiple targets. But when you can't control the fight because you lack the disable and the damage, then the single target lineup feels very hard to fight.
And with Howl, it's like, it's just so much. Extra 300 health to all of these heroes, and now they have the silence. Pump faking the terror rays, they finally throw it out, so it's comboed together perfectly, and SF dies before he can even do anything at all. As Vega Squadron gonna storm high ground, they have buyback on SF, but it feels so terrible right now to try and buy back into this fight, and again, the Force Staff to the high ground. Just gonna threaten them underneath the tier 4 towers. And there is nothing Gambit can do to try and stop this. They do have a Silver Edge. there's a way to maybe open this up on Undershock, but look at these Brewlings. They're all dropping. They have a Static Storm down as well. There's the break onto Viper, throwing it back underneath the tier 4 towers. But this is feeling like it's almost their base. Undershot going to go down here. The Aegis, it expires! But he ends up getting all the healing from it. It doesn't matter anyways. They couldn't bring him down in time. And now Gambit, again, looking for answers, but it's not going to happen. Undershot got away, and good game, well played is called. 23 minutes in, that was a stomp.
Minute. Yeah. Just under the tier 1 that Gambit did, at first I didn't think it was going to be that impactful because overextended. It happens. And for the first time, it was just non-stop. Tower, cooldown. You use it twice, then the fire and the air spirit just turned it up.
They have that damage. Like,